Ladies and gentlemen, it's a tremendous time for America, full of pride, full of strength, and full of celebration as we look ahead to a milestone unlike any other. In 2026, the United States of America will celebrate its 250th birthday, a quarter of a millennium of freedom, innovation, and indomitable spirit. And what better way to celebrate this extraordinary chapter in our history than with something just as bold, just as fierce, and just as American, the Ultimate Fighting Championship, right at the White House. Yes, you heard that right. President Donald J. Trump has officially announced that the White House will host a UFC event in 2026. It won't just be any event, it's set to be one of the most unforgettable fight nights the sport has ever seen. And it's all happening in the very heart of American leadership, in a space designed for diplomacy, now opening its gates to 25,000 roaring fans of mixed martial arts. The announcement came on a stirring summer evening, Thursday, July 3rd, at the Iowa State Fairgrounds. A sea of supporters gathered under the open sky as Trump took the stage, energized, focused, and confident. The crowd was electric, waving flags, chanting USA, and listening intently as the president painted a vision of 2026 that blended tradition with intensity. "We're going to have some incredible events," Trump told the excited crowd. "Some professional events, some amateur events. But the UFC fight is going to be a big deal, too." The president made it clear, this celebration isn't just about history. It's about power, competition, and the freedom to chase greatness in every form. Hosting UFC at the White House isn't a gimmick, it's a bold move that honors America's fighting spirit. Trump's relationship with the UFC goes far deeper than this one event. He's a longtime friend of UFC President Dana White, who has stood beside Trump through thick and thin, both inside and outside the octagon. In fact, the two were last seen together at UFC 314 at the Casilla Center in Miami. Trump, cool and composed, walking out to the sound of Kid Rock's American Badass, flanked by security, waving to fans, taking his seat with the same swagger that's defined his political career. Trump has never hidden his love for the fight game. He was there at UFC 302, at 309, and at numerous other events. He understands the energy, the courage, the raw competition. He sees in the UFC what he sees in America: no backing down, no easy victories, and no fear. He's also no stranger to big moments. On the final night of the 2024 Republican National Convention, it was Dana White himself who introduced Trump on stage. Two leaders, different worlds, same fire. And now, their partnership is set to bring a once-in-a-lifetime experience to Washington, D.C. Imagine it. The White House South Lawn transformed into a world-class fight arena. Under the glow of the lights, fighters from all over the world stepping into the cage, the crowd erupting with every punch, every takedown, every victory. It's sport at its finest, blended with patriotism at its peak. "This is not just a fight night," Trump said. "This is about who we are as Americans. We're tough, we're resilient, we go the distance. And on our 250th birthday, we're going to show the world that America is still the undefeated champion of freedom." The decision to open the White House grounds to a live UFC card shocked some and thrilled many. Critics called it unorthodox, but Trump supporters cheered it as yet another way the president brings America back to the people. "We're not doing boring speeches," he laughed. "We're doing action, we're doing energy, we're doing real entertainment, something you won't see in any other country on earth." According to sources close to the planning committee, the fight card is expected to feature some of the biggest names in MMA, including potential rematches, title fights, and rising stars from across the globe. Talks have even begun about showcasing top American fighters against international challengers in a symbolic, US versus the world, main event. "This is not just a spectacle," Dana White reportedly told close aides. "It's history in motion. You've never seen anything like this, and you never will again." Security teams are already coordinating with the Secret Service, military branches, and law enforcement to ensure safety and order during what's expected to be one of the largest non-political gatherings at the White House in modern history. Vendors, sponsors, media partners, they're all lining up. Fox, ESPN, and other broadcast giants are bidding for exclusive rights to cover the historic card. Merchandise lines are already being designed, with patriotic themes blended with classic UFC branding. But beyond the logistics and hype, the event carries a deeper symbolism. It's about celebrating a nation built on guts, glory, and relentless determination. A nation where, whether in politics or sports, the strong rise, the bold speak, and the brave lead. The president didn't hold back on the big promises, either. "This is only the beginning," Trump said. "We're going to celebrate America like never before. You'll see concerts, parades, competitions, and yes, maybe even more fights." Supporters across the country took to social media immediately after the announcement, trending hashtags like #UFC takes DC, #Trump250 and #FreedomFights2026. Athletes began chiming in as well. Some called it the opportunity of a lifetime. Others expressed awe that their sport would be elevated to such a historic platform. Several top-tier fighters even issued open challenges, throwing their names in the hat for what is likely to become the most coveted spot in UFC history. Never before has the world of politics and professional fighting collided on such a dramatic scale. But that's exactly what makes it so uniquely American, breaking barriers, defying norms, and creating moments that resonate across generations. As the president closed his remarks, the crowd stood in applause. The sun dipped below the horizon. Red, white, and blue lights washed over the grandstands. And in that moment, one thing became crystal clear: 2026 won't just be a birthday, it'll be a battle cry. From the thunder of the crowd to the roar of the fighters, from the Oval Office to the Octagon, the celebration of America's 250th birthday will be unlike anything the world has ever seen. And Donald Trump, once again, will be at the center of it all, championing the country he calls the greatest on earth.